Hey, this is D-Pad Dungeon. Welcome to another episode. This is a commentary over some video footage that we took a couple years ago, I think 2018, where we went to Waverly Sanatorium.
Is that when we got up to Waverly?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the footage of us when we were driving up there.
I've just not seen that.
Yep. There it is. Big old place. And then it just goes into the inside, and this is just a whole bunch of cut footage. There's no, like, sound or nothing, so we just figured we'd talk over it.
Oh, is that with the GoPro?
Yep.
Sam and Dean went there.
Did they?
They did.
I'm not surprised, really, with it being supernatural.
Mm-hmm. They totally went to Waverly.
Like, they actually
No,
okay.
it was totally not really Waverly. It was...
Really?
You could tell it was a set.
Place.
Yeah. It wasn't there at all.
They just claimed they went there?
Yeah.
I think they actually talked about that. That woman said that they never actually went there.
No, they don't go to a lot of places in that show. Like, they've been to Muncie, Indiana.
Yeah,
they didn't really go to
there's
Muncie.
no way they went to Muncie. That'd be a huge deal.
It would be.
For a little podunk town like
Good.
that.
It'd be a huge deal for Muncie, Indiana.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, that Waverly was in that show for like a very brief... They had to... I believe, if I'm correct, they needed spirits for some kind of bomb, and they went there because there's so many spirits. Yeah, they did a spirit bomb. Yeah.
God.
I totally spaced that. I mean, I watched most of Supernatural, but I don't think I've ever.
It was like season 13 or 14.
I fell off that shit at like season 3. I couldn't. When they started getting into all the angels and vampire stuff, I was like,
vampires?
I'm out.
The vampires are in a lot.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, they are, aren't they?
Way too much.
Never mind.
Anyway, enough about Supernatural. Let's talk about the real
let's
Supernatural.
Talk about the real ghost hunters.
We're talking about Supernatural.
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying. That's the real Supernatural. So what all did you guys see while you were here? What can we expect to see in this video? Oh, you saw snow.
Yeah,
you sure those weren't orbs?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a lot of orbs. That was like 3 inches of orbs.
Oh,
3
inches of orbs.
We actually got to the place about
Spooky.
8 o'clock.
Where are you guys at now in this video?
Yeah, it was about 7, 8 o'clock when we got in there.
Well, what were you looking at in that video? Now it's black.
I think we're like on the 3rd floor.
There was like 5 floors?
We're in room 502 there.
502. What's the story behind 502?
Well, the rumor is that some girl killed herself in there, but turns out I don't think she actually did. Because the owner told us that she didn't actually kill herself in there.
No, it was somewhere else in the. She did kill herself.
Is this the same place that has the little kid that supposedly has the bouncy ball?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, this is the place.
We actually tried doing that. We went to the area that they said that's where he normally hangs out, and we went down there and we turned off our lights and everything, and we sat around. We heard some noises, but that just could have been because there was woods right behind the building, going up against the building. But
so is everything open in this place? Like, is there any windows, or is it like all opened?
Everything. There's
a lot
no
of
windows.
it's opened.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of it's open, but there's places where you can't go. There's places that they lock off because they're afraid you're going to die.
Oh.
If you fall through the floor or something like that, condemned parts.
Not because of demons.
Probably not, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't get to go there.
What are I don't know what are some stories that are other than that kid and the lady? I mean, what's the most terrifying thing that's supposed to be in this sanitarium?
I guess it's the ghost of that lady.
Okay.
Right.
I mean,
any doctors that were like evil that killed a bunch of patients or anything like that?
Not really.
There was
a lot of experiments and stuff because of tuberculosis. They were trying to figure out how to cure it.
So there was actually what Waverly was to begin with was actually a school back. I don't know when, don't know the time period, but it actually started as a school for kids. So then all of a sudden tuberculosis hit, and they didn't really know a lot about it.
And they used it to sit there.
They sat there and used it as a facility to house all those people because they didn't know what to do. Right. They didn't know how the disease worked or anything like that. So many people. It didn't help out that there were so many people in there that they weren't getting better. So a lot of people had died.
Gotcha. Now, if I'm right, this is the same sanatorium that American Horror Story Season 2 was supposed to be modeled after, correct?
I think so.
Probably.
but not.
This
but
place
without
is
the aliens and the
pretty famous.
The Nazi doctor.
or the Santa Claus killer.
There's a ton of movies about this place.
Okay,
They're just everywhere.
it's definitely a familiar name, so that's for sure. Ooh, that's a spooky hall.
Yeah, this is the place that has that body chute, the death tunnel.
Okay, yeah.
That's like, I don't know how long it is. It's like 1.5 miles long or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It's not quite that long, but it's
pretty
I
damn
think
long, man.
going down and back up, it's
Is that what that hall is right there? Or is that just one of the
That's
halls
just
with
one
rooms?
of the hospital hallways. You'll see, I'll tell you where the body chute is.
a
the death
lot
tunnel.
of a lot of
I got
the
quite a bit of
buildings-
footage of that.
Oh, we spent a lot of time down there, but we got down there and stayed down there because there's a long track back up.
It is. We were like worn out by the time we got to the bottom.
Wow. So, Jared, what was the scariest thing that happened to you while you were here?
While I was there,
Yeah. If anything scary happened to you.
I don't know if there's anything scary because I literally sat in the dark by myself for a little bit and
Yeah,
nothing.
So both of you have not really anything?
Not
We
really.
didn't experience anything, but talking with because we went with a group and
I mean, it's
some
spooky.
of them said they seen or heard some things, but as far as I know, we've not gotten any actual.
So why do you
evidence.
guys make up some bullshit
Yeah.
and tell them, oh man, someone touched me?
Well, I mean, I don't want to do that.
But yeah, it's
One of the spookiest things about this place is there was like about 20 of us.
no, it's close. Yeah, close to 20 of us.
Yeah, it was around that number, and we all split off into groups and went into this place, and like
Didn't see
you
anybody.
didn't see anybody. Like this place is that big. Like you couldn't
Wow.
hear people. You didn't see their flashlights or nothing. This place was enormous.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it does have the building itself does have a very eerie feel to it.
Yeah, it's spooky.
But as supernatural as it goes, there's nothing that I could say going there with that experience that it's ghost. It's just an old building that's huge that with the history behind it makes it very eerie, especially when you go into actual
The movies.
yeah, when you actually go into like one of the places they actually operated on people.
Oh wow.
They actually have a big table still there with the big light that would shine on
Okay.
them. And
Yeah, see,
that's kind of
I'm still skeptical if that's like the original shit,
I bet it's not.
or
I'm
if
sure
they
it
just got that somewhere and put it in there.
Props.
well,
Yeah.
the very bottom floor was basically they made that into like a Halloween thing. So every year they throw a big Halloween
Yeah, they throw
thing.
Halloween
Oh,
parties.
that'd be neat.
So yeah, they're actually trying to renovate the place and actually get it back up to,
So, okay, this light that I'm seeing in this video, is that on your head? Or is this
No,
a flashlight?
I'm holding that.
Okay.
One of us is. I don't know which one of us.
Okay.
it's been a couple years.
So did you guys bring the lights with you? Or
It
do
looks
they,
like
do they,
well, that's me walking. So yeah, Jared's got the flashlight. And
do they
GoPro.
give you
No, you bring
lights?
your own stuff.
You bring your own. So did anybody was like, I'm just going straight darkness?
That'd be stupid.
Well, there was that one guy. He looked like he was just wandering around by himself. And I came across him once where he was just sitting in a corner in a room by himself doing nothing.
Did
And
anybody
he was just dead quiet, just sitting in there.
did anybody have those weird little like radio things where you hear?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, they brought a lot of spooky equipment and
That's
stuff.
I always think that's fascinating, and then like
it's called a
they'll-
spirit box.
Yeah, spirit box,
They-
and like,
they did
is there
like
any
a-
spirits here? And then you hear,
Yeah,
and then all
it
of a
just
sudden you
kicks
hear,
out random words.
yeah, and they're like, oh my god, they just said my name.
Like yes, no, maybe, could be, but not. Maybe.
Yeah.
Could, no, yes. Like, oh, there's a spirit here.
Kevin, turn back now.
yeah, that kicks over the radio. I'm out.
Yeah, I was about to say, fuck that. I'll be gone. I'd say, Kevin, good luck. I'd walk the opposite direction.
Yeah, peace.
I say, Kevin, give me the keys. I'm going to the car.
I think like the spookiest thing that's ever happened to me, because I've never obviously done anything like this. As Kevin knows, Jared does not.
You should do this. It's fun.
I would love to. It would be fascinating because anyway, back to my story. I'll get back to other things later. I want to ramble on. I lived out in the country and I lived about no one fields and woods around me, so I was by myself. My family lived there too, obviously, but I remember everybody was gone. My parents were at work. My sisters were somewhere else, and it was just me. And I was in the restroom. No one is in this house. and there's a knock on the bathroom door. Tell you what, I never pinched my butt cheeks faster, and I got the hell out of that house, and I did not go back in until someone came home.
Like you heard like an actual fucking
Yeah,
knock.
it was a knock on my on the bathroom door.
So it wasn't like a little tap tap.
No, it was
like,
a full-on knock.
Who's there?
Yeah, and that's the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me. And then I used to think this used to scare the hell out of me, but now, being older, I know better. I was probably about 10 years old, and it was the first time I ever saw The Exorcist. Again, I was home by myself. So I'm watching it, and it gets, spoiler alert, it gets to the part where she starts stabbing herself with the crucifix, yelling the words, "Fuck me, Jesus." And the goddamn power goes out. Now, the power went out real quick. I mean, it was a real quick thing. And the VCR, yes, VCR, the timer did not go back, didn't start flashing 12 o'clock like they should do when it was the exact time it was supposed to be. And that's what freaked me out. And I could not watch that movie again for 5 more years.
The movie that I had problems with when I was younger was Signs. Because when Signs first came out, it
has some creep factor to it.
But
Yeah,
I was
can
like,
see that being spooky.
I was like maybe like 6 or 7 when that came out, and because it was early 2000s, and
But that's Aliens.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Aliens can be spooky, and you know what?
Yeah.
Aliens are real.
Aliens are not real.
Ghosts aren't real.
Ghosts are real.
No,
Okay.
I disagree.
You see those UFOs in the sky?
Do you see those ghosts?
Yeah, there's ghosts flying those.
Ghosts. Okay, so
Aliens aren't real, man. Those are ghosts.
They're just ghosts.
This
All right.
house, I believe
course.
this house is a little haunted.
It's a little weird here sometimes.
That's what Kevin was telling
I
me.
don't not so much anymore, but there was one night me and Kevin were both just sitting out here on the couch, and he was sitting on the one couch, I was sitting on the other, and we was watching something, eating dinner, and next thing you know, Gabe comes out, and he's like,
That is scary.
he's like, "Who the fuck's knocking? Who keeps on playing with my door handle?" And we're like,
Dude, we were just sitting on the couch watching TV.
we're like, "What the fuck are you talking
And
about?"
he comes out and he's like, "Which one of you are fucking with my door handle?"
That is weird.
Neither of us. And he's like,
Yeah.
he goes, "No, you're fucking lying to me." We're like, "No, we're not." I go, "Do you think my fat ass would get in there, jiggle your door handle, and run all the way back without being
And then
winded?"
he thought one of his friends was here hiding in the house.
Yeah, he thought Gage was here hiding in the
He
house.
thought we were all fucking with him, but nobody was. But he soars up and down. Somebody was messing with his door handle.
Yeah.
Weird. That is weird.
That is weird.
I've heard people knock on that wall when I used to have my bed right there on the headrest.
Yeah.
I used to hear people out here in the hallway, and they'd knock on the wall right where my head was at.
When I was
Yeah, I got
3, 4, I lived in this farmhouse that is no longer around, but it was where my mom grew up. And
farmhouses, man.
yeah, you know what my mom
Some
and her
spooky
sisters
shit.
told me
What?
to get me to be a good boy? That there was a little teeny tiny man that lived in the walls.
There's a man in the walls. Yep.
and he
My
would
older
come
siblings
out
did that to
and
me too.
get me if I wasn't good. So
The man
I
in
was
the walls.
terrified of the man in the wall.
My grandpa would tell me about the story of Bloody Bones.
Bloody bones.
Yeah, he would set me and my sisters down, and
Bloody bones.
it was just some bullshit story that he told us, grandchildren,
Right.
and
Right. Like they do.
basically he didn't even try to like make us act good. He just wanted to do it to scare us. I mean,
Well, let's tell you about old Bloody Bones.
Yeah.
Well, what's
like
the story behind
the
Bloody
man in
Bones?
the walls thing?
Yeah.
Like, did that come from that movie, The Gate? Do you remember that?
Oh God,
They had
yeah.
the construction worker that was sealed in the wall or whatever.
It had to cut. No, they may have incorporated that in that because the gate. I remember when that movie came out. I was probably about 5 or 6 when that movie came out, and I was about 3 years old, living in the house, and I still remember them that the man in the
Yeah.
wall.
Yeah.
So I bet you they took that. That story's probably been around for some time.
Yeah, because I think that's what my older siblings did, was took that story and fed it to me. Like, it just made me think somebody was living in the walls.
Oh God, those guys were creepy.
that would
in
be.
movie.
I mean, as a kid, you're like, oh shit.
So what's Bloody Bones?
Yeah, what is Bloody Bones?
Honestly, it's been. I don't know. Like it's one of the last thing. Like the only thing I really remember about my grandpa, and I wasn't even probably 3 or 4 when he was telling us his stories. But I remember very vividly sitting on the floor in the living room where my grandpa chair was, and he had an oxygen tank that would hook up in his nose, and he would set all 3 of us down, and he'd always tell us about the story of Bloody Bones, about some guy who ran around killing people and underneath all the clothing was just bones that had like rotten flesh on it.
That sounds good.
Well,
And-
that's not what I thought it was going to be.
I didn't either.
What'd you think it
I
was
thought
going
it
to
was
be?
just going to be some guy stealing your bones or something.
Oh no, like he was.
So
he-
underneath the guy's clothes was just bloody bones.
Yeah, exactly.
I see.
Yeah, and
Spooky.
Oh God, Kevin, you're scary.
Yeah, this is the death tunnel here.
This is the death tunnel.
Or the body chute.
I need to
Because
see
they had
this.
so many people dying from tuberculosis, they had to stuff them all down in this tunnel. Because
That's
they'd have
awful.
a train car or something at the bottom of the
Yeah.
tunnel would pick up the bodies. But I mean, I guess they had so many that it actually filled that entire tunnel.
That's
There was
sad.
a rumor at one
It's pretty
point,
crazy.
but which
I think
is,
this is the death tunnel.
it is
I think we're at the bottom of it right
Yes.
now. Yeah, we're at the bottom, just chatting it up. Yeah, that's me.
Macklemore.
Yeah, Macklemore. Yeah, when some of the people we met there, like as soon as they seen me, they were like, "That guy looks like Macklemore."
And I started playing some Macklemore at one point. He's a rapper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a music artist.
It's because of his slick back hair and
But it's not the first time I've heard that though. So
It's the first time
they're
I've
right.
heard it.
I've seen pictures of this guy.
I'll have to look
I
at
do have
pictures.
slight similarities to him sometimes. You catch me just right in the light.
with the lights very dim.
Yeah, very dim light.
Did I tell
Kind
you?
of like that flashlight there. If I was all the way down at the end of that hallway, you
You look
might
like-
think it's Macklemore.
And you squint your eyes just a little bit, and you got the music playing.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, Macklemore, okay." I had a guy.
Oh, hey.
I
Is
never
it
get
Michaelmore or Macklemore?
Macklemore.
Macklemore?
Like a Big Mac.
Yeah,
Okay,
Big Macklemore.
Big Macklemore. Okay.
but I had a guy stop me the other day. I've never been mistaken for anybody before, like famous person. Like, "Oh, you look like this person." I had some guy tell me I look like Jelly Roll.
Who?
I have no idea who that is.
he's an artist.
I think
he-
you showed him to me.
Yeah, he's like
No.
rap, hip hop kind of stuff.
So you guys look like rappers.
Apparently, but I was like, "There's no fucking way." Just because he's big and I'm big and we both have beard doesn't mean we look alike.
So yeah, that's the tunnel, man. That tunnel was so fucking long.
Even with the flashlight and the flashlight that we had at the very
Yeah,
bottom,
dude, that flashlight was super bright.
and you could not see the top or the very bottom if you stood on one side or
It was
the
like
other.
1,000 lumens or some shit.
Oh my.
You turn it all the way up, you still could not see the very top of that
You know,
tunnel.
just darkness.
Dang.
And at the very bottom of the tunnel, there was a gate that was locked
But,
up.
yeah, we went down there for a little while, and like we turned the lights off and stuff. That's not in the video. I cut out all the parts where we turned all the lights off
So
and just
so
sat
is
there in the dark.
is it like you keep
'Cause they're
saying
boring,
tunnel
but-
and looking down and looking? Is it a decline? Like you
Yeah,
go
we're
down?
looking
it's almost,
up right
it's
now.
almost like a 45-degree angle.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not just like straight.
It's not just straight. It
Yeah.
goes
No, it
down.
actually, that's the reason why we were so tired.
We're looking
Okay.
at the incline right now. I think
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't so much
we're at the
because
bottom. So
it was a straight line. It actually went like I can't remember how far down it went,
and
but
there's
it
this
went pretty far
plastic
underneath.
tarp at the bottom that they put over so the wind wouldn't blow through it or something like that. But I had to cut that part out too because Jared thought it'd be okay to pull that plastic tarp back and start looking in there,
Did
and
I?
we weren't supposed to touch that. I don't think.
Oh jeez.
Did I do that?
Yeah, you did.
That sounds like something you would do, Jared.
I cut it out
does.
though,
You're like
It
you
does.
can't not touch something.
so they can't prove it. They can prove
Hey.
nothing.
It was pretty cool though. Like when we got there, like all of us. Well, first off, going down to Kentucky, it was like a 3.5 hour trip, and we got down there. The whole trip was pretty fun.
Sounds like it would be.
Yeah, and the hotel we fucking stayed at.
I would just.
Yep,
That hotel is.
there was that hotel.
Is that the hotel you guys were? No, that's not.
I don't know if we should tell that story though.
Yeah, you might want to just keep that one for yourselves.
Yeah,
Keep that one for yourselves.
Okay, well, the hotel story is pretty
I'll tell you about the hotel story later.
is pretty interesting.
leave that a
but-
mystery.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, but we got there, and our whole goal was to meet up with everyone at Golden Corral, not too far from Waverly, and we was gonna eat as a group and then go out to Waverly. Well, me and dumbass over there ended up getting there like 4 hours too early.
Talking about me?
That's what he's talking about. I wasn't
Nothing
there.
dumb about showing up early.
We were 4 hours early in
So
a different
we had
state.
shit to do.
Yeah, you
Ain't
can do all
nothing-
kinds of
there's
stuff.
nothing wrong with showing up early.
There's nothing wrong with
I
showing up
always
early.
show
No,
up early.
There's all kinds of shit wrong with showing up late.
yeah,
Yep.
there
Ain't
is.
nothing wrong with showing up early.
Besides being too early.
Which reminds me, the knocking on doors you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
I remember one time I was here in this house, and I just shut my door in my room, and I was inside my room, and I didn't even get turned around, walk away from my door, and just one big bang right on my door, like right on the damn door. Sounded like it was about my height. And it's just one loud boom, like somebody just punched the door. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was hesitant because it was right when I closed the door. And I'm like, there's nobody on the other side, and I know it. And I was hesitant, but I went ahead and opened it, and there was nothing there. And I looked around, I was like, what the hell? So being the guy that I am, since I have trouble believing in that sort of stuff, I started to inspect it. And it turns out that my house shifts during the seasons.
Yeah.
And sometimes it gets harder to close doors and stuff. Well, when I shut the door, the wood had stuck on the door. And for some reason, it just kind of popped loose a little bit. And when it did that, it made that loud pop. And it sounded like somebody banged on my door.
Oh.
Just once, though. But I figured it out because I just reenacted the whole scene. And there you go.
I can see you at 2 o'clock.
That's what I do.
I see you at like 2 o'clock
Trying
in the
to
morning and just
figure
opening
out
and
an
shutting your
actual-
door. Just,
Yeah, I always try to figure out some sort of reason.
That's like
There has been a few times, though.
it's like
that
in the house that I'm
could
living
not
in
fucking
now.
figure it out for nothing.
Sitting there, and I was just at home watching Supernatural, and all of a sudden, bang, 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 bang on my door. Scared the living daylights out of me because it was like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So I'm like, was it a ghost? No. But I was scared because I had no idea who would be banging on my door at 10 o'clock at night.
Your outside door?
Yeah, my front door. So I went upstairs and I look outside and I see an officer with a shotgun standing in front of my house.
What? Why?
So I'm like, oh shit, what do I do?
So he had the shotgun
That's,
out.
that's, that's not a ghost.
Yeah, that's definitely not a ghost. No. So I go downstairs and I hear bang, 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 bang again. I was like, oh God. I was like, I'm answering this because I got officers here with shotguns. What's going on? And I open the door and he's just like, sir, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm just watching Supernatural. And he goes,
You told him you were watching
I
Supernatural.
did. I just what I was doing.
Just watching Supernatural.
And he's like, we got reports of gunshots at your address. I was like, I don't even have a gun. So it's like,
Oh, yeah, you told me about that.
and he's like, do you mind if I come in? I was like, go ahead. And then he kind of looks around. And
Yeah, no guns.
no, well, he's like, everything okay? I was like, yeah. So they leave. And before he left, the guy with the shotgun comes in right behind him, and he's holding his shotgun still. And I was just kind of like, whew.
I've never heard this story.
So like, that was a little
happened
terrifying.
recently, didn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it happened about 3 months ago, probably.
I never heard that
Yeah,
story.
I just came back from here. I was at here at
Really?
this house, yeah, and I go home and I'm watching Supernatural, and apparently there was reports of gunshots in my area, at my house specifically.
Yeah, you only live a couple blocks from me, and I didn't hear
Yeah, I didn't
gunshots
either.
or anything.
Neither
I
did
walked
I.
home that night and I didn't hear
I
nothing.
think somebody's pulling a prank,
Yeah, I think so too.
Trying to swat.
trying to get you swatted.
Yeah, exactly.
Bang, bang, bang.
But- and
Hands
then-
up in the air.
He came. Yeah, that. Oh God, that scared my heart. That's probably
Well,
some of the
you knew
scariest I've
the
ever been.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know
you
what
were
quite a-
watching
I
Supernatural.
was.
You know quite a bit of the officers, though. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I
okay.
did. I recognized the officer and everything, but like he was very cool about it. He wasn't a
Yeah.
jerk or anything else like that, and he understood and everything. And he did his inspection type stuff. Make sure everybody's okay. It's like, yeah, everybody's fine. It's like, no gunshots here. That was. But the knock. I'll tell you what, that knock was terrifying. That was even more terrifying than the knock when I was home by myself, because I just whew.
Did you butt clench
Yep,
on
my
that
butt
one, too?
clenched. Oh yeah, my butt clenched and my heart stopped and my heart went really fast.
You're easy to scare. Too,
Oh yeah,
though.
I'm real easy to scare. You could sit there and be right behind me, and I'm like, oh God.
Going into the cooler when you had your headphones on. your
Oh,
headset
yeah.
on.
Dude, scaring people in coolers is great.
Dude, there was one time one of my employees came to the cooler and had my headphones on, the noise canceling, and he just walked up right beside me, and I just seen somebody fucking move, and I fucking clenched my fist, and I'm about to turn around and hit him, and then I look at him, and he's like, "Hey, I got a question." I was like, "Jesus Christ, I about to hit you."
Better have a good question.
One of my ex-girlfriends, I scared her so bad one day that she literally just curled up in a ball and just started crying.
Asshole.
Oh God.
I did that hiding in the shower thing that you think people would do, but nobody really does it.
Uh huh.
And I decided to go ahead and do it once. And basically, I was just in there, and she just comes walking in the bathroom, and all I did was I just stuck one arm out real fast. Just right out of the shower curtain, and she just screamed and just fell on the floor.
I remember I tried to
felt
scare
horrible.
Mr. Asshole Kevin over here once.
Me.
He I was
Yeah, there's a good shot of the death tunnel there.
dang it, I
This
missed
is where we're halfway through. We're halfway through the tunnel. We flip
Okay.
the light on,
Oh.
and we look down that way and can't see nothing. We look down that way and you can't see nothing.
Oh wow. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can see that.
Like
oh,
you can't see
okay, I
either
see.
end
Yeah.
of the tunnel.
So is that steps?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's steps
Okay.
on the side.
Yeah, there's steps and then there's like a long ramp.
Okay, and
the
that's where
ramp
they
was where they had the
the gurneys or whatever.
Well, not gurneys. It was
Oh.
like it was more of like a think of like a mining.
Yeah, they used like
Cart.
a mining cart kind of thing to
Oh.
wheel bodies, like a
Okay.
wheelbarrow, I guess, or something like that.
Oh, God.
I don't know. That's just what I was told. I wasn't
I-
there.
So
Right.
what was your story with trying to scare
yeah.
Kevin?
Oh yeah, so like
Nobody scared
I think
me.
he worked for Securitas at the time. And so I parked down on the opposite end of my apartment building. And I sat there and I'm hiding in my son's room, and he comes over to the house. And it was his girlfriend lived there at the time too. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm gonna scare the fuck out of this guy. And I'm waiting. He gets in the house. I wait a few minutes. And I jump out. No reaction whatsoever.
Did you know he was in there?
No,
Mm-mm.
he had no idea.
I had no idea.
He
was
didn't
there.
care. He just like, nah.
That's just the
Didn't
way
scare
I
him.
work.
Did not
It's-
scare him.
It's like probably a time that should have scared the holy shit out of me, but didn't. When the elderly lady that lived across the street has
Oh.
dementia.
Yeah.
I came home at night at like 3 a.m, and I went in my house, pitch black, didn't turn any lights on or nothing. Just went straight to my room because I was tired. And when I went to go into my room, the room right next to it, the doors are like right next to each other. The door was open, but the lights were off in there. And it was to my right, so I'm seeing in my peripheral vision. I go to open my door, and in my peripheral view comes this old lady wearing a nightgown down to her ankles with no shoes or socks on.
Oh, that's creepy.
Just reaches out and grabs my arm, and she just comes out of the darkness. And I stopped and thought for a minute, because I was like, this isn't really happening. And I'm serious, this actually happened.
I've
She
had
grabbed my
way
arm
too
and I
much to
stopped
drink.
and I thought for a minute, and I could see in the darkness, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, isn't that my neighbor? And I said her name, and she responded, and I was like, holy shit. I was like, what are you doing in my house?
Yeah,
And she was just having one of her episodes.
oh wow.
And the door was unlocked, so she just came in and hid there because she thought I could protect her against whatever was chasing her or something.
oh wow.
Yeah, so I
That's
I
terrible.
kept her in there and just called the cops. I was like, well, you just stay hidden in my back room. You'll be fine. Nobody's going to find you, and I won't let anybody in here.
That was a tiny back room.
It was. But, dude, oh, man. It's almost like it terrified me so much
That there was no reaction.
that I had no reaction. I just went it's like my blood just ran cold.
You're like, this cannot be real.
Yeah, and it was like all of my senses just threw out the window, and I just went straight
Dude,
to logic.
I would have
The first-
screamed
And
like
I
a
was
little
This
girl.
isn't really happening. That has to be a real person that grabbed my arm. I need to figure out why they're in my house. And it was super strange.
The first thing I would have done if I would have seen an old woman's hand coming out of the dark and grab my arm, the first thing I would
Scream
fucking
like
do,
a little girl.
Yep.
first thing I would do is I would throw a punch.
Yeah, don't do that.
I mean, if
So
I
you
knew it
can't-
wasn't my
yeah.
parents and there was somebody else in my house, oh.
Nope, not me. I'd
My
scream like a little
mom
girl.
told me
and-
one time that she was lucky she didn't have a gun one night, because if so, I would probably be dead by now.
No, it's weird.
Because-
It was almost like how people talk about slow motion.
Okay.
Like when something tragic happens or something like that.
Oh, when
real
I got hit
quick
by
or
a
something.
car?
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Like it feels like everything goes into slow motion. It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's weird how adrenaline works. It
Yeah.
speeds your entire body
remember-
up to makes
yeah.
you feel your perception slows
Because
down.
I remember
though.
my mind like ran through like all the possibilities of what's happening right now.
You pulled a Spider
You
Man.
know they say that with
It was
adrenaline, like
crazy.
so I've been watching a lot of like Eddie Hall and Brian Shaw, Nick Best, and all them, like World's Strongest Men kind of stuff. Well, Eddie Hall had, I think, Hapthor Bjornsson just beat him on a deadlift record. But when he did that, he went months into training, and he'd be the first person ever to lift over, I think it was 500 kilos, which is like 1,100 pounds of deadlift.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, and I listened to some of his stuff, and one of the things that he talked about doing was actually just shooting himself up with adrenaline right before the lift.
Ugh.
Yeah, just straight adrenaline.
Isn't that cheating?
Like a shot?
Yes.
Isn't
like
that
a shot.
cheating though?
Okay, so he wasn't just getting pumped. He actually shot adrenaline into his
Well,
body.
no, he didn't. He didn't do it. I'm saying that was one of his first things that he was thinking about doing was just shooting adrenaline right before the lift, so that he has that, because they say that even like the world's strongest men, they don't have.
That's what they
access.
do to like ODs, and stuff like that. People
Well,
who
they
OD.
they don't have access
They
to
hit 'em with
100%
adrenaline.
of their muscle fiber. So, but when your adrenaline hits, you have 100% of that muscle fiber. That's the reason why you hear about moms lifting cars off kids, because
Yeah.
they can now use, the full potential. And imagine somebody who's considered one of the world's strongest men to be able to do that. Well,
Right.
he decided after sitting down and talking to his
Physician.
that they thought that would be a horrible idea,
Yeah.
especially as big as he is. That'd be one
But
of the
it
worst
split
ideas.
his heart.
Well, he actually sat down with a therapist and some other people, and he actually got to the point where he could basically access that 100% without using adrenaline, and basically faking himself out, thinking that something dire is going to happen, and forcing his body to react that way. And he sat down with hypnotists and all this. And when you watch him lift that 500 kilos, the 1,100 pounds, he is like not there. His eyes are just blank. He says that there's a little pressure point that he points himself, and when he does that, he just leaves. And he ended up getting that thing up off the ground and getting the lift. But it was just interesting
what is that?
how.
Are those beds? Are those
Yeah,
beds?
this is one of the places where they kept bodies.
Oh, so those aren't beds. Those are.
Like a morgue. Like how
Yeah.
they got like the freezers or whatever storage
Yeah.
places, yeah. That's what those are. They said we could get in on one if we wanted, but we
Yeah.
never did it.
We never did, no.
Nah, I didn't really see any point to it. Because I don't think there was any doors on them or nothing.
There wasn't.
Because that's when it would have been, the spookiest, if they could have shut you in one.
Yeah, but legal
Yeah, there's
reasons.
the operating tables. A couple of those, but I don't.
Not those ones.
I don't feel like those are the ones.
I'm not
that
talking about
came
those
with
ones.
the
I'm talking
place.
the ones up on like the 5th floor. Dude.
Yeah, those were like the same things though.
So
No.
does that there's actual windows?
I don't know. They might be the originals. I have no idea. We'll never know because I
So-
don't know if you can fully trust what everybody says
So what?
about things because they make money from people doing this.
Where would you want to go next? Do you guys have anything
Winchester.
in mind?
Oh yeah, the Winchester.
Oh
Mansion.
God, that would be amazing.
But dude, that's like a 3-day drive or some shit.
That's
you
in
need
what,
to spend-
California?
The Winchester Mansion.
It's
no,
up west.
I feel like it's in like Pennsylvania.
that
or
would be
something
cool.
like
It's
that.
not in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I'd love to go to Winchester Mansion too. God,
I don't know where it's at, but yeah, it's wicked. But that would be my place of choice.
that would definitely be
And
cool.
this would have been second. But because this is only like a couple hours from where I live, this was awesome.
I'd like to go into
It's
A
in St.
medieval castle
Jose,
that's still standing?
California is where it's at.
I think that'd be
Okay,
kind
so
of a
it is in
spooky,
California.
So it's in
spooky
California.
place.
They actually have tours and stuff you can go to on that.
Look how spooky that is.
Did it
Those
go?
hallways just went on forever. Some of the doors did, yeah.
Well, we watched that one video of the Winchester house, and like some of the stuff that
Yeah, just stairs to nowhere.
Yeah,
were
Doors to
doors to
nothing.
nowhere.
doors that just go outside on the
Yeah,
third floor.
on like the third floor, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it was all just
and supposedly
some
there's a
weird
hidden
reason to
treasure
keep,
in there,
keep spirits inside the house.
or to keep them away.
It was keep them away because she had to keep on building to.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would it was
Would be
designed
really cool
to
to go
confuse them so they couldn't find her.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
Oh. Well, that's spooky. Yeah, nothing like that in this place.
No.
This place was really cool, though. I'll give it that. Really cool.
It was.
And then there's outside with all the snow and stuff.
No, those are orbs.
Yeah, and all the orbs.
Those are spirit orbs. Bringing it back around.
But yeah. Yeah, this place was cool, and I would totally go back. And if you ever get a chance to do it,
Do it.
I
Go
would
for
say
it.
do it. Totally do it. Oh, phoneception.
Nice.
That was Jared's idea.
What was it?
Phoneception.
Yeah. putting the camera in front of the phone.
Oh, yeah.
So it just kept recording, then recording, then recording, then recording, recording. Because it was a
Yeah,
GoPro, and the
that's-
GoPro was being shown on the phone, and so on and so forth, right? Phoneception.
Yeah, I have some pretty good ideas.
So, yeah.
Jared, you have the best ideas.
This is the balcony where they would wheel all the patients out and stuff. The tuberculosis patients. They'd wheel them
So
out
they
there.
get fresh air.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they get fresh air and the cold air.
Yeah.
I guess the cold would slow the tuberculosis.
That's
or
where,
something like that.
yeah, a lot of people went
And they
to,
would just leave them out there all day. And some of the patients, in some of the documentaries and stuff, the patients would talk about how they had like almost like an inch of snow just on their feet from just being out there.
oh my God, you're not supposed to do that.
Well, I mean,
They didn't know what
you're
helped
on
and what didn't.
you're on your deathbed, man.
Yeah.
You gotta do something. If it costs you your toes to
Yeah.
live,
Yeah,
another,
used to-
20, 30 years, then yeah,
cool,
do it.
crisp, clean air
Toes
was
are
supposed
toes,
to
but, I mean, you
help
don't
you
need
out.
'em to live. Well, yeah, there's ways around it.
Wonder what crazy stuff they're gonna come up with COVID-19. Sit there and here, do this. This'll help. Like they did with that bleach. At first, people were like, "Oh, I'll just drink bleach."
No,
and it's like,
don't drink bleach.
That's stupid.
Drinking
It's gonna
bleach
kill
is
you.
bad, Derek.
No, I know that.
They were just putting patients on a balcony when it was snowing. They weren't drinking bleach. But
It's
yeah, spooky stuff.
it was a cool building to go through. I'd
Sounds
go
like it'd
back
be cool.
again, but I wouldn't expect anything.
I'd
to
go back
happen.
again, but I think I'd want to do some of it just by yourself, like alone, because we were together like the whole time.
I mean, we did split up a little bit on the same floor, but
yeah,
not
but I
for very
mean, we were
long.
just like right there.
Yeah.
So
Talking about you going up to the top floor, me go to the
yeah.
bottom floor,
and better camera equipment would have been nice.
instead of just a GoPro.
Yeah, because we had that whole other camera that we did all this footage on.
And we can't get
And
the
it was
footage
like an
off it.
older style camera, so the footage on it was actually like night vision and shit. So it
Mm,
looked really cool, but like we couldn't get any of the footage.
Gotcha.
Just don't know how to get it. Oh,
Did you see that orb?
I did. I saw something.
Yeah. You know what it was?
With the light.
It was the cold air and Jared breathing.
Oh, I thought it was just that right there.
It was just from his breath. See, I've debunked it already.
Yep. I
All
thought
right.
it was just that light.
We got about half a minute.
Oh,
So say your goodbyes.
goodbye.
bye.
Thanks for watching if you did watch. That's the front doors on the outside. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, Waverly Sanatorium's awesome. If you ever get a chance to go there, do it.
Do it.
This is D-Pad Dungeon. We went there, and it was awesome. And I guess that's about it, really. I guess we had more than 30 seconds. We still got about 30 seconds.
Probably just cut it now.
Okay.
So, this is Kevin.
This is Derek.
And Jared.
There. Now we've introduced ourselves at the end of the video.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, it's so you know. You have to watch the whole video. But, yeah.
Watch the whole video to figure out who we are.
Yeah, if anybody gives a shit.
I'm
Nobody cares.
sure we probably lost
I make
them.
these things for me.
That's right.
Something for me to watch in like 10 years.
That's right.
Yeah,
Memories
because
right there.
it's fun. It's fun to do and talk about. I'll probably still be telling the same spooky stories in 20 years.
Yeah, why not?
See, we need to get some new experiences. Oh, that's it. 5 seconds. Bye.
Bye.